Time to once again delve into the weirdest, most unpleasant concepts that gaming can thrust in our faces. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 disturbing video game moments. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at scenes and sequences in gaming that clearly and quite successfully aim to unnerve their audience. Be it through body horror, deeply troubling implications of pain and suffering, extreme bloodletting, or some unknown other terror, there's no doubting how seared into our minds these moments are. And if you don't see a disturbing moment that you think should be on the list, be sure to check out our original video of the top 10 disturbing video game moments. We're placing a limit of one game per series or franchise, and please note that spoilers and mature content may lay ahead.
Then I went to the bedchamber, but Anna was not there. Instead, there was blood everywhere.
Number 10, The Botchling, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Sometimes miscarried fetuses, if they don't get a proper burial, turn into botchlings.
Into what?
On the trail for his adopted daughter Ciri, Geralt is asked by Baron Strenger to locate the Baron's wife and daughter in exchange for information. However, as per the series' tradition of cruel subversion, it turns out Strenger's wife vanished after suffering a horrific miscarriage as a result of domestic abuse. If that weren't enough of an ugly twist, the player then has to confront the fetus, now a mutated creature called a Botchling. Whether you choose to free it from its curse or slay it in battle, the experience of witnessing this poor creature's plight is utterly horrifying.
By the powers of earth and sky.
By the powers of earth and sky.
Number 9, Revenge Against Zeus, God of War 3. Imagine for a moment that you're in the shoes of Kratos, the former god of war, whose quest to strike down every other deity in the Greek pantheon is nearing its end. You've got Zeus, the god of thunder, on ropes. Now what? For Kratos, this means taking advantage of the situation and brutally punching Zeus's face in, reducing it to a bloody pulp. But then Kratos keeps punching, with his onslaught only ending when the player chooses. It's senseless, excessive, and grotesque as a course of action, yet it feels fitting considering how truly empty of all but his violent urges Kratos has become. Number 8, Robotic Religious Suicide Cult, Nier Automata.
Hello. My name is Pascal. I'm here to discuss the peace treaty.
Death, faith, humanity, and robot sentience? In one of Nier Automata's most memorable moments, these topics intertwine to form something quite chilling. Partway through 2B's mission, she's asked by robotic ally Pascal to negotiate a peace treaty between his village and another robotic community made up of religious believers. Only, these believers aren't exactly your typical pray for peace types.
All of you shall become as gods. Become as gods. All of you shall become as gods. Become as gods. All of you shall become as gods. All die together and become as gods.
From here, the sequence to escape the Believer's factory only gets darker, with some machines hiding in fear of death from their homicidal brethren, while others opt to take their own lives peacefully, yet still with hesitation. Plus, the soundtrack constantly repeats the chant, "Become as gods," to make sure the player won't be forgetting any of this anytime soon. Number 7, Hortencia, Phantasmagoria. In a game packed with brutal deaths and cruel twists of fate, this stands out as being especially harsh. While exploring the greenhouse of her newly purchased New England estate, author Adrian Delaney happens upon a vase that, surprise surprise, contains a human skeleton. Already an unsettling moment, we're then shown a flashback explaining exactly why that skeleton is there. It's what remains of Hortencia, the first of several wives of the demon-possessed magician Carno. Enraged by a conversation, Carno kills Hortencia by way of shoving dirt down her throat until she suffocates. Number 6, The Dark Room, Life is Strange. Sometimes being the hero sucks. Case in point, as episode 5 of Life is Strange opens, photography student Max Caulfield finds herself strapped into a chair in what appears to be a private studio. Using her ability to time travel through photos, Max discovers that she is in the dark room, a location where her teacher Mark Jefferson takes unwilling women and photographs them in compromising positions. Jefferson's sheer sociopathy and implicit sexual interest in his students gets clearer and creepier as he speaks to Max, illustrating just how warped one's mind would have to be to justify this behavior.
I hope these images will be appreciated for what they truly capture.
Number 5, The Man in Yellow. I have no mouth and I must scream.
I'm gonna suffocate if I stay in here. I want out!
Certain evil sticks with you no matter how far you go or how hard you try to move on. In her segment of I have no mouth and I must scream, the engineer Ellen finds herself dealing with a reoccurring issue of being uncomfortable around the color yellow. She struggles through the pain to solve puzzle after puzzle before ending up in an elevator she recognizes, and then a man in yellow materializes before her. Ellen's despair at the sight of the man who years earlier had raped her only adds to the unflinching cruelty and horror of the scene.
Please, not again!
Yes, again.
Number 4, Your Final Fate, Inside. Terrible things happening to children is always going to be a tough sight to watch, yet somehow this is on a whole other level of disturbing. Throughout Inside, the central character, a young nameless boy, passes by several citizens being guided along paths unknown. Then after a trek through a research facility, the truth is laid bare. These people are being merged into giant blob-like monstrosities as part of a twisted experiment. Alas, the boy is absorbed into one such being, becoming just a set of limbs flailing around on a fleshy abomination. Number 3, Losing Your Hand, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
No, you didn't mean to hurt me.
You shouldn't have done that!
Not long after reuniting with his wife Mia and having to battle her for the first time, Ethan Winters ends up being in quite the predicament. Ethan's exploration of the Baker house gets interrupted by the suddenly revived Mia, who proceeds to impale his hand with a screwdriver. The scene gets progressively more gruesome as Ethan struggles mightily to free his hand, just in time to have it lopped off by a chainsaw. Besides the obvious horror of seeing someone lose a limb, it's just as disturbing to watch the hand get stapled back onto its stump, all in glorious first-person view. Number 2, Elizabeth's Lobotomy, Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea Episode 2.
There's a profit to be made, and men who make it.
Late in Burial at Sea Episode 2, dimension-hopping heroine Elizabeth completes a task for the enigmatic Atlas, who rewards her assistance by taking her captive. We're then treated to a first-person view of Elizabeth being given too much truth serum, going into a 2-week coma, and waking up to Atlas preparing lobotomy instruments. Every tap on the piercing orbitoclast instrument, every pain cry by Elizabeth as the procedure continues, it makes for a lot of wincing on the audience's part. The Atlas was also willing to do the same to Sally, a little sister, only adds to the troubling nature of this scene.
All I need to is insert this pick into your arm.
Please, I don't know anything!
A few taps with me.
I don't know anything!
Number 1, White Phosphorus, Spec Ops: The Line.
That's white phosphorus.
Yeah, I know what it is.
You've seen what this shit does. You know we
Might
can't
not have a
use it.
choice, Lugo.
There's always a choice.
Perspective is key when trying to upturn the audience's understanding of events, as is illustrated halfway through Spec Ops: The Line. During the 8th mission, Captain Walker and his team find themselves overlooking one of the damned 33rd base camps, with a cache of white phosphorus shells conveniently nearby. Walker gives the order to fire said shells on the camp, visualized to the audience as a cloudy burst on a computer screen. The disconnect between our perception of the action and the visceral horror of what actually happened is hammered home when, minutes later, it's actually discovered the 33rd were evacuating civilians. And then, we're shown exactly what white phosphorus does to the human body. Good luck sleeping after this one.
No, those can't be the civvies that got kidnapped. It's not possible.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.